Hi, I'm Sarah Cathcart. Welcome to watching Twelfth Night. I'm going to talk to you about the process that we went through. So we began in the studio. We had about 8 sessions in the studio, and I divided the days into 3 sections. And so the first section was text for an hour, character for an hour, and world of the play for an hour. Then the next day I would rotate that. So we got on the floor straight away, and on the first day we went through the whole of Act 1 without text, doing an exercise called running, walking, standing still, which is an exercise I learned at the VCA many years ago, taught to me by Lindy Davies. And I teach this to everyone, this exercise. So I rehearsed the play, building on running, walking, standing still, and then moving up gradually. Well, that was my intention. So we were happily going through our first week, going through these 3 stages. We also did a lot of work on text, of course, and I followed the fabulous Patsy Rodenburg in her givens. So in our second hour on text work, the students would intone the text. So I said, this is bottom line. You have to get the text into your corpuscles, the vowels into your bones. So we would do, so I said, it's like practicing the piano. So they would intone the vowels, they would intone the words, they'll intone get the flow of thoughts. And I said, find the pleasure in doing this process. So anyway, and then the third one was the world of the play. So then we'd look at the world of the play. You know, why does Shakespeare start with a thunderstorm and end with a song about rain? What's that about? What are the themes? And then all of a sudden we're on Zoom. So I thought, well, how can we create connection through Zoom? Because that's what it was all about in the studio, the students connecting to themselves, the text and each other. How do we connect through Zoom? So we met every day at 2, and I always began with a dance. We danced to daggy 80s music so that, you know, we'd lift our spirits and get joy in the body because, you know, Twelfth Night is very joyous. And then we did a series of Chinese exercises. So everyone's in gallery view in unison. So I would be connecting through the screen very consciously. Then the third thing we did was a Yoshi Oida exercise that I absolutely love, which is about the power centre and getting the students connecting to each other through the screen once again. And then I told them a story. I said, look, I had a 2-year long-distance relationship on FaceTime. It is possible. I've experienced it, to have chemistry, to really see the other actor and to affect them and to be affected by them through the camera. So it's going to take a different time. So then we began. My colleague Petra Kalive suggested a fantastic initial exercise. She said to her group, everyone create a monologue and then upload it anywhere and apply it to an online platform. So I said to her, can I do that too? That's a great idea. She said, sure. So all the students did this monologue, and then they uploaded. I sat there looking at these monologues, and they were amazing. Like, they were in their, you know, really nondescript clothes, standing in their nondescript, forgive me students, their nondescript bedrooms, very ordinary, speaking this heightened Shakespeare. They'd clearly done their homework. They'd done the givens. They'd done all the stuff that Patsy had said, Patsy, my hero, all the givens, and they'd embodied the sounds, the vowels, the flow of thoughts. They knew what they were saying. And I thought, there's something really in this. You know, one actor was standing in her backyard with a wheelie bin behind her, you know, talking. This is great. So I said, the next day I said, look, that was really interesting. What if we do 12th Night in lockdown? So all the characters are in lockdown. And then one of the actors said, oh yeah, okay, great. So when the survivors come ashore, at the start they're in quarantine, great. Then someone else said, can we call it, you know, lockdown, what you will? So great, so we're on a roll, we were off. So I gave them a checklist of things to do, following on from the work in the studio. And that at the end of that session, I gave them the checklist. I said, keep going with the givens, do script analysis with your scene partners, intone the text, do all of that work, get your imaginations going, and then you're going to be filmmakers. So what's the composition of the frame? What's the set behind you? Think about all of that. So I remember pressing leave meeting and they all disappeared, and that was it.
What country, friend, is this?
This is Illyria, my lady.
And what should I do in Illyria? My brother, he is in Elysium, perchance he is not drowned. What think you, Captain?
My lady Viola, it is perchance that you yourself were saved.
Oh, my poor brother. And so perchance may he be.
True, madam. And to comfort you with chance, assure yourself, after our ship did split, and you and those poor numbers saved with you hung on our driving boat, I saw your brother, most provident in peril, bind to himself, courage and hope both teaching him the practice, to a strong mast that lived upon the sea. Though like Orion on the dolphin's back, I saw him hold acquaintance with the waves, as long as I could see.
Oh, for saying so, there's gold. Knowest thou this country?
Aye, madam, well, for I was born and bred not 3 hours' travel from this very place.
Who governs here?
Noble Duke, in nature is in name.
Oh, what is the name?
Orsino.
Orsino. I've heard my father name him. He was a bachelor then.
So is now. Also very late, for but a month ago I went from hence, and then 'twas fresh in murmur, as you know what great ones do the less will prattle of, that he did seek the love of fair Olivia.
Oh, what's she?
A virtuous maid, the daughter of a count that died some 12 months since, then leaving her in the protection of his son, her brother, who shortly also died, for whose dear love they say she hath abjured the company and sight of men.
Oh, that I served that lady, and might not be delivered to this world until I had mine own occasion mellow what my estate is.
That will love to compass, because she will admit no kind of suit, no, not the Duke's.
I prithee, and I'll pay thee bounteously. Conceal me what I am, and be my aid for such disguise as haply shall become the form of my intent. I'll serve this Duke, and thou shalt present me as an eunuch to him. It may be worth thy pains, for I can sing and speak to him in many sorts of music that will allow me very worth his service. Oh, what else mayhap to time I will commit, only shape thou thy silence to my wit.
Be you the eunuch, and your mute I'll be. When my tongue blabs, then let mine eyes not see. Be you Cesario.
Cesario. Cesario. Cesario.
If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it. That surfeiting the appetite may sicken, and so die. Oh no, that's straight again. Had a dying fall. Oh, it came on my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough. No more. It's not so sweet now as it was before.
Will you go hunt, my lord?
What, Curia?
The heart.
Why, so I do. The noblest that I have. Oh, when mine eye did see Olivia first, methought she purged the air of pestilence. That instant was I turned into a hart. And my desires, like fell and cruel hounds, ere since pursue me. How now? What news from Olivia?
So pleased, my lord, I might not be admitted, but from her handmaid do return this answer. The element itself, till 7 years' heat, shall not behold her face at ample view, but like a cloistress she will veiled walk and water once a day her chamber round with eye-offending brine. All this to season a brother's dead love she would keep fresh and lasting in her sad remembrance.
Oh, she that hath a heart of that fine frame to pay this debt of love but to a brother. How will she love when the rich golden shaft hath killed the flock of all affections else that live in her, when liver, brain, and heart, these sovereign thrones, are all supplied, and fill her sweet perfections with one self-king.
By my troth, Sir Toby, you must come in earlier a nights. Your cousin, my Lady Olivia, takes great exceptions to your ill hours.
Why, let her.
Aye, but you must confine yourself within the modest limits of order.
Confine? I'll confine myself no finer than I am. These clothes are good enough to drink in, and so be these boots too. And they be not, let them hang themselves in their own straps. What a plague means my niece to take the death of her brother thus? I am sure care's an enemy to life.
All that quaffing and drinking will undo you. I heard my lady speak of it yesterday, and of a foolish knight that you brought here one night to be her wooer.
Who, Sir Andrew Aguecheek?
Aye, he.
Why, he's as tall a man as any in Illyria.
That's the purpose?
Why, he has 3,000 ducats a year.
Aye, but he'll have but a year in all these ducats. He's a very fool and a prodigal.
Well, fie that you say so, Maria. He plays on the viol de gamboys and speaks 3 or 4 languages word for word without book, and hath all the good gifts of nature.
He hath indeed, almost natural. But besides that, he's a fool. He's a great quarreller, and but that he hath the gift of a coward, to allay the gust he hath in quarrelling, 'tis thought among the prudent that he would quickly have the gift of a grave.
By this hand, they are scoundrels and subtractors that say so of them. Who are they?
They that add. Moreover, he's drunk nightly in your company.
With drinking hells to my niece. I'll drink to her as long as there is a passage in my throat and drink in Illyria.
Sir Toby Belch. How now, Sir Toby Belch?
Sweet Sir Andrew.
Oh, bless you, fair shrew.
And you too, sir.
Accost, Sir Andrew, accost.
Oh, what's that?
My niece's chambermaid.
Good mistress accost. I desire better acquaintance.
My name is Mary, sir.
Good mistress Mary accost.
You mistake, knight. Accost is front her, board her, woo her, assail her.
By my troth, I would not undertake her in this company. Is that the meaning of accost?
Fare you well, gentlemen.
Methinks sometimes I have no more wit than a Christian or an ordinary man has. I'm a great eater of beef, and I believe that does harm to my wit.
No question.
And I thought that I'd forswear it. I'll ride home tomorrow, Sir Toby.
Pourquoi, my dear knight?
What is pourquoi? Do or not do? Oh, I would I had bestowed that time in the tongues that I have in fencing, dancing, and bear baiting. Oh, had I but followed the arts.
Then hadst thou had an excellent head of hair.
Oh, it becomes me well enough, does not?
Oh, excellent. It hangs like flax on a distaff, and I hope to see a housewife take thee between her legs and spin it off.
Faith. I'll home tomorrow, Sir Toby. Your niece will not be seen, or if she be, it's 4 to 1 she'll none of me. The Count himself here hard by woos her.
She'll none of the Count. She'll not match above her degree, neither in estate, nor years, nor wit. I have heard her swear't. Tut, there's life in it, man.
I'll stay a month longer. I am a fellow of the strangest mind in the world. I delight in masks and revels, sometimes all together.
Art thou good at these kickshaws as knight?
As any man in Illyria.
What's thy excellence in a galliard, knight?
Faith, I can cut a caper.
And I can cut the mutton to it.
And I think I have the back trick simply as strong as any man in Illyria.
Wherefore are these things hidden? Wherefore have these gifts a curtain before? Why dost thou not go to church in a galliard and come home in a coranto? My very walk should be a jig. What dost thou mean? Is it a world to hide virtues in? I did think by the excellent constitution of thy leg it was formed under the star of a galliard.
Aye, it is strong, and it does indifferent well in a flame-coloured stock. Shall we set about some revels?
What shall we do else? Come, let me see the caper. Higher. Excellent.
If the Duke continue these favours toward you, Cesario, you are like to be much advanced. He hath known you but 3 days, and already you are no stranger.
You either fear his humour or my negligence that you call into question the continuance of his love. Is he inconstant, sir, in his favours?
No, believe me.
I thank you.
Who saw Cesario home?
My lord, here.
I stand you a while aloof. Cesario, thou knowest no less but all. I have unclasped to thee the book even of my secret soul. Therefore, good youth, address thy gate unto her. Be not denied access. Stand at her doors and tell them, there thy fixed foot shall grow till thou have audience.
Sure, my noble lord, if she be so abandoned to her sorrow as it is spoke, she never will admit me.
Be clamorous and leap all civil bounds rather than make unprofited return.
Say I do speak with her, my lord, what then?
Oh, then unfold the passion of my love. Surprise her with discourse of my dear faith. It shall become thee well to act my woes. She will attend it better in thy youth than in enuncios of more grave aspect.
I think not so, my lord.
Dear lad, believe it, for they shall yet belie thy happy years that say thou art a man. Diana's lip is not more smooth and rubious. Thy small pipe is as the maiden's organ, shrill and sound, and all is semblative of a woman's part. I know thy constellation is right apt for this affair. Prosper well in this, and thou shalt live as freely as thy lord, to call his fortunes thine.
I'll do my best to woo your lady. Yet a barful strife. Who I woo, myself would be his wife.
God bless thee, Lady Olivia.
Take the fool away.
Did you not hear, fellows? Take away the lady.
Go to. You're a dry fool. I'll know more of you. Besides, you grow dishonest.
Faults, Madonna. That drink and good counsel will amend. The lady bade take away the fool, therefore I say again, take her away.
I bade them take away you.
Misprison in the highest degree. Good Madonna, give me leave to prove you a fool.
Can you do it?
Dexterously, good Madonna.
Make your proof.
Good Madonna, why mournest thou?
Good fool, for my brother's death.
I think his soul is in hell, Madonna.
I know his soul is in heaven, fool.
The more the fool, Madonna, to mourn for your brother's soul being in heaven. Take away the fool, gentleman.
What think you of this fool, Malvolio? Doth he not mend?
Yes, and shall do till the pangs of death shake him. Infirmity that decays the wise doth ever make the better fool.
God send you, sir, a speedy infirmary for the better increasing of your folly. Sir Toby will be sworn that I am no fox, but he will not pass his word for 2 pence that you are no fool.
How say you to that, Malvolio?
I marvel your ladyship takes delight in such a barren rascal. Unless you laugh and minister the occasion to him, he is gagged.
Oh, you are sick of self-love, Malvolio, and taste with a distempered appetite. To be generous, guiltless, and of free disposition is to take those things for bird bolts which you deem cannon bullets. There is no slander in an allowed fool, though he do nothing but rail, nor no railing in a known discreet man, though he do nothing but reprove.
Madam, there is at the gate a young gentleman that much desires to speak with you.
From the Count Orsino, is it?
I know not, madam. It is a fair young gentleman that's well attended.
Who of my people hold him in delay?
Sir Toby, madam, your kinsman.
Fetch him off, I pray you. He speaks nothing but madmen. Fie on him. Go you, Malvolio. If it be a suit from the Count, I am sick or not at home. What you will to dismiss it. Now you see, Festi, how your fooling grows old and people dislike it. By mine honour, Sir Toby, half drunk. What is he at the gate, cousin?
A gentleman.
A gentleman? What gentleman?
'Tis a gentleman. I'm playing on these pickled herrings. How now, son?
Sir Toby.
Cousin,
Hmm?
how have you come so early by this lethargy?
Lechery? I defy lechery. There's one at the gate.
I know, what is it?
Let him be the devil and he will. I care not. Give me fate, say I. Ah, well, it's all one.
What's a drunken man like, fool?
Like a drowned man, a fool, and a madman. One draught above the heat makes him a fool, the second mads him, and the third drowns him.
Go thou and seek the crowner, and let him sit on my cuz. For he's in the 3rd degree of drink. He's drowned. So, look after him.
He is but mad yet, Madonna, when the fool shall look to the madman.
Madam, yond young fellow swears he will speak with you. I told him you were sick. He takes on him to understand so much, and therefore comes to speak with you. I told him you were asleep. He seems to have a foreknowledge of that too, and therefore comes to speak with you. What is to be said to him, lady? He's fortified against any denial.
Tell him he shall not speak with me.
Has been told so, and he says he'll stand at your door like a sheriff's post, and be the supporter to a bench, but he'll speak with you.
What kind of man is he?
Why, of mankind.
What manner of man?
Of very ill manner. He'll speak with you, will you or no?
What personage in years is he?
Not yet old enough for a man, nor young enough for a boy, as a squash is before 'tis a peace god, or codling when 'tis almost an apple. 'Tis with him in standing water between boy and man. He is very well favoured, and he speaks very shrewishly. One would think his mother's milk was scarce out of him.
Let him approach. Call in my gentlewoman.
Gentlewoman? Oh, my lady calls.
Come, Maria. We'll once more hear Orsino's embassy.
The honourable lady of the house. Which is she?
Speak to me. I shall answer for her. Your will?
Most radiant, exquisite, and unmatchable beauty. I pray you, tell me if this be the lady of the house, for I never saw her. I would be loath to cast away my speech, for, besides that it is excellently well penned, I have taken great pains to con it.
Whence came you, sir?
Good gentle one, give me modest assurance that you be the lady of the house, that I may proceed in my speech.
Are you a comedian?
No, my profound heart. And yet, by the very fangs of malice, I swear I am not that I play. Are you the lady of the house?
If I do not usurp myself, I am.
I will on with my speech in your praise, and then to the heart of my message.
Come to what is important in it. I forgive you the praise.
Alas, I have taken great pains to study it, and 'tis poetical.
It is the more like to be feigned. I pray you keep it in. If you be not mad, be gone. If you have reason, be brief.
Will you hoist sail, sir? Here lies your way.
No, good swabber. I am to hull here a little longer.
Sure you have some hideous matter to deliver, when the courtesy of it was so fearful. Speak your office.
It alone concerns your ear. I bring no overture of war, no taxation of homage. I hold the olive in my hand. My words are as full of peace as matter.
Yet you began rudely. What are you? What would you?
The rudeness that hath appeared in me have I learned from my entertainment. What I am and what I would are as secret as maidenhead. To your ears, divinity. To any other's, profanation.
Give us the place alone. We will hear this divinity. Now, sir, what is your text?
Most sweet lady.
A comfortable doctrine, and much may be said of it. Where lies your text?
In Orsino's bosom.
In his bosom? In what chapter of his bosom?
To answer by the method, in the first of his heart.
Oh, I have read it. It is heresy. Have you no more to say?
Good madam, let me see your face.
Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face? You are now out of your text. But we will draw the curtain and show you the picture. Look you, sir. Such a one I was this present. Is it not well done?
Excellently done, if God did all.
'Tis in grain, 'twill endure wind and weather.
'Tis beauty truly blent, whose red and white nature's own sweet and cunning hand laid on. Lady, you are the cruelest she alive, if you will lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy. Oh, sir, I will not be so hard-hearted. I will give out divers schedules of my beauty. It shall be inventoried in each particle and utensil labelled to my will as item 2 lips, indifferent red, item 2 grey eyes with lids to them, item 1 neck, 1 chin, and so forth. Were you sent hither to praise me? I see you what you are. You are too proud. And yet, if you were the devil, you are fair. My lord and master loves you. Oh, such love could be but recompense, though you were crowned the nonpareil of beauty. How does he love me? With adorations, fertile tears, with groans that thunder love, with sighs of fire. Your lord does know my mind. I cannot love him. Yet I suppose him virtuous, know him noble, of great estate, of fresh and stainless youth, in voices well divulged, free, learned, and valiant, and in dimension and the shape of nature a gracious person, but yet I cannot love him. He might have took his answer long ago. If I did love you in my master's flame, with such a suffering, such a deadly life in your denial, I would find no sense. I would not understand it. Why, what would you? Make me a willow cabin at your gate, and call upon my soul within the house. Write loyal cantons of contemned love and sing them loud, even in the dead of night. Halloo your name to the reverberate hills, and make the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivia! Oh, you should not rest between the elements of air and earth, but you should pity me. You might do much. What is your parentage? Above my fortunes, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman. Get you to your lord. I cannot love him. Let him send no more, unless perchance you come to me again to tell me how he takes it. Fare you well. I thank you for your pains. Spend this for me. I am no feed post, lady. Keep your purse. My master, not myself, lacks recompense. Love make his heart of flint that you shall love, and let your fervour, like my master's, be placed in contempt. Farewell, fair cruelty. What is your parentage? Above my fortunes, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman. I'll be sworn thou art. Thy tongue, thy face, thy limbs, actions, and spirit do give thee fivefold blazon. Oh, not too fast. Soft, soft. Unless the master were the man. How now? Even so quickly may one catch the plague. Methinks I feel this youth's perfections, with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at mine eyes. Well, let it be. What ho, Malvolio!
Here, madam, at your service.
Run after that same peevish messenger, the Count's man. He left this ring behind him, would I or not. Tell him I'll none of it. Desire him not to flatter with his lord, nor hold him up with hopes. I am not for him.
If that the youth will come this way tomorrow, I'll give him reasons for it. Hide the Malvolio.
Madam, I will.
I know not what, and fear to find mine eye too great a flatterer for my mind. Fate, show thy force. Ourselves we do not owe. What is decreed must be, and be this so.
Will you stay no longer? Nor will you not that I go with you?
By your patience, no. My stars shine darkly over me. The malignancy of my fate might perhaps distemper yours.
Let me yet know of you whither you are bound.
I perceive in you so excellent a touch of modesty that you will not extort from me what I am willing to keep in. Therefore it charges me in manners the rather to express myself. My name is Sebastian, which I called Roderigo. My father was that Sebastian of Messaline, whom I know you have heard of. He left behind him myself and a sister, both born in an hour. If the heavens had been pleased, would we had so ended. But you, sir, altered that. For some hour before you took me from the breach of the sea, was my sister drowned.
Alas the day.
A lady, sir, though it was said she much resembled me, was yet of many accounted beautiful. She bore a mind even envy could not but call fair. But she is drowned already, sir, with salt water, though I seem to drown her remembrance again with more.
Pardon me, sir, your bad entertainment.
Oh, good Antonio, forgive me your trouble.
If you will not murder me for my love, let me be your servant.
If you will not undo what you have done, that is, kill him whom you have recovered, desire it not. Fare you well at once. My bosom is so full of kindness, and I am yet so near the manners of my mother that, upon the least occasion more, mine eyes will tell tales of me. I am bound for the Count Orsino's court. Farewell.
The gentleness of all the gods go with thee. I have many enemies in Orsino's court, else I would very shortly see thee there. But come what may, I do adore thee so. That danger shall seem sport, and I will go.
Were not you even now with the Countess Olivia?
Even now, sir, on a moderate pace, I have arrived but hither.
Well, she returns this ring to you, sir. You might have saved me my pains to have taken it away yourself. She adds, moreover, that you should put your lord into a desperate assurance she will none of him. And one thing more, that you be never so hardy to come again in his affairs, unless it be to report of your lord's taking of this. Receive it so.
Oh, she took the ring of me. I'll none of it.
Come, sir, you peevishly threw it to her, and her will is it should be so returned. If it be worth stooping for, there it lies in your eye. If not, be it his that finds it.
I left no ring with her. What means this lady? Fortune forbid my outside hath not charmed her. She made good view of me. Indeed, so much that sure methought her eyes had lost her tongue, for she did speak in starts, distractedly. She loves me. Sure, The cunning of her passion invites me in this churlish messenger. None of my lord's ring, why he sent her none. I am the man. Oh, if it be so as 'tis. Poor lady. She were better love a dream. Oh, disguise! I see thou art a wickedness wherein the pregnant enemy does much. How easy is it for the proper false in women's waxen hearts to set their forms? Alas, our frailty is the cause, not we. For such as we are made of, such we be. Oh, how will this fadge? My master loves her dearly, and I, poor monster, fond as much on him, and she, mistaken, seems to dote on me. Oh, what will become of this? As I am man, my state is desperate for my master's love. As I am woman, now, alas the day, what thriftless sighs shall poor Olivia breathe? Oh, time! Thou must untangle this, not I. It is too hard a knot for me to untie.
Sir Andrew. Approach Sir Andrew. Not to be abed after midnight is to be up betimes, and juluculo sugere, thou knowest.
Nay, my troth, I know not, but I know to be up late is to be up late.
A false conclusion. I hate it as an unfilled can. To be up after midnight and to go to bed then is early. So that to go to bed after midnight and to go to bed then is to go to bed betimes. Does not our life consist of the four elements?
Faith, so they say, but I think it rather consists of eating and drinking.
Yes, thou art a scholar. Let us therefore eat and drink. Marion, I say, a stoup of wine.
Oh, here comes the fool, in faith.
Welcome, ass. Now, let's have a catch.
By my troth, the fool has an excellent breast. I had rather than 40 shillings I had such a leg, and so sweet a breath to sing as the fool has.
Come on, there's sixpence for you. Let's have a song.
There's a testful of me too, if one night give her.
Would you have a love song or a song of good life?
A love song, a love song.
I care not for good life.
Oh, mistress mine, where are you roaming? Oh, stay and hear your true love's coming, that can sing both high and low. Trip no further, pretty sweeting, journeys end in lovers' meeting. Every wise man's son doth know.
Good.
Excellent, good, dear faith.
What is love? 'Tis not hereafter. Present mirth, present laughter. What's to come is still unsure. In delay, there lies no plenty. So come kiss me, sweet and 20. Youth's a stuff will not endure.
A mellifluous voice says, I am true knight.
A contagious breath.
Very sweet and contagious, if faith.
But, shall we make the welcome dance indeed? Shall we rouse the night owl with a catch that was all 3 souls out of 1 weaver? Shall we do that?
And you love me? Let's do it. I am dog at a catch.
I am lady, sir, and some dogs will catch well.
Most certain. Let our catch be thou knave.
Hold thy peace, thou knave knight. I will be constrained in it to call thee knave knight.
It is not the first time I've constrained one to call me knave. Come, begin, fool. It begins, hold thy peace.
I shall never begin if I hold my peace.
Very good, in faith. Come, begin. Hold
thy
peace. Hold thy peace. Thou knave, thy peace. I prithee, hold thy peace.
Do you keep here? If my lady hath not called upon her steward Malvolio and bid him turn you out of doors, never trust me.
Oh, my lady, the Catayan, we are politicians, Malvolio's a Pegger Ramsay, and 3 merry men be we. Am not I consanguineous? Am I not of her blood, Tilly Valley lady? There was a man in Babylon, lady.
True me, the knight's an admirable fooling.
Aye, he does well enough if he be disposed to. And so do I too. He does it with a better grace, but I do it more natural.
Oh, the 12th day of Christmas,
my true love sent to me.
Masters, are you mad? Or what are you? Have you no wit, manners, nor honesty, but to gabble like tinkers at this time of night? Do ye make an alehouse of my lady's house, that ye squeak out your cosiest catches without any mitigation or remorse of voice? Is there no respect of place, persons, nor time in you?
We did keep time, sir, in our catches. Snecker.
Sir Toby, I must be round with you. My lady bade me tell you that though she harbours you as her kinsman, she's nothing allied to your disorders. If you can separate yourself from your misdemeanours, then you are welcome to the house. If not, she is very willing to bid you farewell.
Farewell, dear heart, since I must need be gone.
Nay, good Sir Toby.
His eyes to show his days are almost done.
Even so.
But I will never die.
Sir Toby, there you lie.
Much credit to you.
Shall I bid him go?
What and if you do?
Shall I bid him go and spare not?
Oh, no, you dare not!
Attitude, sir, you lie. Art any more than a steward? Dost thou think, because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale? Go, sir, rub your chain with crumbs. Stupid why, Mariah?
Mistress Mary, if you prized my lady's favourite anything more than contempt, you would not give means for this uncivil rule. She shall know of it by this hand.
Go shake your ears.
It were as good a deed as to drink when a man's a-hungry, to challenge him to the field, and then to break promise with him and make a fool of him.
Do it not. Deliver thy indignation to him by word of mouth.
Sweet Sir Toby, be patient for tonight. Since the use of the count was today with thy lady, she is much of quiet. For Monsieur Malvolio, let me alone with him. If I do not gull him into a nay word and make him a common recreation, do not think I have wit enough to lie straight in my bed. I know I can do it.
Possess us, tell us something of him.
Marry, sir, sometimes he's kind of a Puritan.
Oh, if I thought that, I'd beat him like a dog.
Devil a Puritan that he is, or anything constantly but a time pleaser, an affectioned ass, so crammed as he thinks with excellencies that it is his grounds of faith that all that look on him love him. And on that vice in him will my revenge find notable cause to work.
What wilt thou do?
I will drop in his way some obscure epistles of love, wherein, by the colour of his beard, the shape of his leg, the manner of his gait, the expression of his eye, forehead, and complexion, he shall find himself most feelingly personated. I can write very like my lady, your niece.
Excellent. I smell a device.
I have it in my nose too.
He shall think, by the letters that thou wilt drop, that they come from my niece, and that she's in love with him.
My purpose is indeed a horse of that colour.
And your horse now would make an ass of him.
Ass I doubt not.
Oh.
Sport royal, I warrant you. I know my physical work on him. I will plant you two where he shall find the letter. Observe his construction of it. For this night, to bed and dream on the event. Farewell.
Good night, Cecilia.
Before me, she's a good wench.
Oh, she's a beagle, true bred, and one that adores me. What of that?
I was adored once too.
Thou hast need send for more money.
If I cannot recover your niece, I am a foul way out.
Send for money, knight. If thou hast her not in the end, call me cut.
If I do not, never trust me. Take it how you will.
Come, I'll go burn some sack. 'Tis too late to go to bed now. Come, night. Come, night. Come, night.
Now, good Cesario, but that piece of song, that old and antique song we heard last night, we thought it didn't relieve my passion much. Come but one verse. If ever thou shalt love, in the sweet pangs of it remember me. For such as I am, all true lovers are, unstayed and skittish in all motions else, save in the constant image of the creature that is beloved. How dost thou like this tune?
It gives a very echo to the seat where love is throned.
Thou dost speak masterly. My life upon it, young though thou art, thine eye hath stayed upon some favour that it loves, hath it not, boy?
Ah, a little, by your favour.
What kind of woman is it?
Of your complexion.
She is not worth thee then. What year is it, Faith?
Oh, about your years, my lord.
Too old by heaven. Let still the woman take an elder than herself, so wears she to him, so sways she level in her husband's heart. Poor boy, however we do praise ourselves, our fancies are more giddy and unfirm, more longing and wavering, sooner lost and worn than women's are.
I think it well, my lord.
Then let thy love be younger than thyself, or thy affection cannot hold the bent. For women are as roses, whose fair flower being once displayed doth fall that very hour.
And so they are. Alas, that they are so. To die even when they to perfection grow.
Once more, Cesario, get thee yond to same sovereign cruelty. Tell her, my love, more noble than the world, prizes not quantity of dirty lands, the parts that fortune hath bestowed upon her. Tell her I hold as giddily as fortune, but 'tis that miracle and queen of gems that nature pranks her in attracts my soul.
But if she cannot love you, sir?
I cannot be so answered.
Sooth, but you must. Ah, say that some lady, as perhaps there is, hath for your love a great a pang of heart as you have for Olivia. You cannot love her. She tells you so. Must she not then be answered?
There is no woman's sides can bide the beating of so strong a passion as love doth give my heart. No woman's heart so big to hold so much. They lack retention, alas. Their love may be called appetite. No motion of the liver, but the palate, that suffers surfeit, cloyment, and revolt. But mine is all as hungry as the sea and can digest as much. Make no compare between that love a woman can bear me and that I owe Olivia.
I know.
What dost thou know?
Well, what love women to men may owe. In faith, they are as true of heart as we. My father had a daughter, loved a man, as it might be, perhaps. Were I a woman, I should your lordship.
And what's her history?
A blank, my lord. She never told her love, but let concealment, like a worm in a bud, feed on her damask cheek. She pined in thought, and with a green and yellow melancholy she sat like Patience on a monument, smiling at grief. Was not this love indeed? We men may say more, swear more, but indeed our shows are more than will. For still we prove much in our vows, but little in our love.
But died thy sister of her love, my boy?
I am all the daughters of my father's house, and all the brothers too. And yet I know not. Sir, shall I to this lady?
Aye, that's the theme. To her in haste, give her this jewel, say, my love can give no place. Bide no delay.
Come thy way, Signor Fabian.
Nay, I'll come. If I lose a scruple of this sport, let me be boiled to death with melancholy.
Wouldst thou not be glad to have the niggardly, rascally sheep-biter come by some notable shame?
I would exult, man. You know he brought me out of favour with my lady about a bear baiting here.
To anger him, we'll have the bear again, and we shall fool him black and blue, shall we not, Sir Andrew?
Oh, and we do not, it is pity of our lives.
Here comes the little villain. How now, my metal of India?
Get ye all three into the box tree. Malvolio's coming down this walk. He hath been yonder, i' the sun, practising his behaviour to his own shadow this half hour. Observe him, for the love of mockery, for I know I can make a contemplative idiot of him. Close, in the name of jesting, lie thou there. For here comes the trout that must be caught with a tickling.
'Tis but fortune, all is fortune. Maria once told me my lady did affect me, and I've heard herself come thus near that should she fancy, it should be one of my complexion. Besides, she uses me with a more exalted respect than anyone else that follows her. What should I think on't?
Here's an overweening rogue.
Peace.
Slight, I could so beat the rogue.
Peace, I say.
To be Count Malvolio.
Ah, rogue!
Pistol him, pistol him!
Peace, peace!
Having been 3 months married to her, sitting in my state,
Oh, for a stone bow to hit him in the eye.
calling my officers about me in my branched velvet gown, having come from a daybed where I've left Olivia sleeping.
Fire and brimstone!
And then to have the humour of state, and after a demure travel of regard, telling them, I know my place, as I would they should do theirs, to ask for my kinsman Toby.
Bolts and shackles!
Peace, peace!
7 of my people with an obedient start make out for him. I frown the while, and perchance wind up watch, or play with some rich jewel. Toby approaches, Courtesies there to me.
Shall this fellow live?
I extend my hand to him thus, quenching my familiar smile with an austere regard of control.
And does not Toby take you a blow of the lips then?
Saying, Cousin Toby, my fortunes having cast me on your niece, give me this prerogative of speech. You must amend your drunkenness.
Out, scab!
Hey, patience, or we break the sinews of our plot.
Besides, you waste the treasure of your time with a foolish knight.
That's me, I warrant you.
One Sir Andrew.
I knew 'twas I, for men do call me fool.
What employment have we here?
Now is the woodcock near the gin.
By my life, this is my lady's hand. These be her very C's, her U's and her T's, and thus makes she her great P's. It is in contempt of question her hand. To the unknown beloved, this and my good wishes, her very phrases. 'Tis my lady. To whom should this be? Jove knows I love, but who? Lips do not move, no man must know. No man must know. If this should be thee, Malvolio, I may command where I adore, but silence, like a Lucrece knife, with bloodless stroke my heart doth gore. M-O-A-I doth sway my life.
Excellent wench, say I.
M-O-A-I doth sway my life. Nay, but first let me see.
What dish of poison has she dressed him?
I may command where I adore. Why, she may command me. I serve her. She is my lady. Why, this is evident to any formal capacity. There is no obstruction in this. And the end. What should that alphabetical position portend? If I could make that resemble something in me. Softly. M-O-A-I. M. Malvolio. M. Why, that begins my name.
Did not I say he would work it out? The cur is excellent at false.
M. But then there is no consonancy in the sequel. That suffers under probation. A should follow, but O does. And then I comes behind. Yet, to crush this a little, it would bow to me, for every one of these letters are in my name. Soft. Here follows prose. If this fall into thy hand, revolve. In my stars I am above thee, but be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Thy fates open their hands. Let thy blood and spirit embrace them, and to inure thyself to what thou art like to be, cast thy humble slough and appear fresh. Be opposite with your kinsmen, surly with servants. Let thy tongue tang arguments of state. Put thyself into the trick of singularity. She thus advises thee that sighs for thee. Remember who commended thy yellow stockings, and wished to see thee ever cross-gartered. I say, remember. Go to, thou art made, if thou desirest to be so. If not, let me see thee as steward still, the fellow of servants, and not worthy to touch fortune's fingers. Farewell, she that would alter services with thee, the fortunate unhappy. Daylight and champagne discovers not more. This is open. I will be proud. I will baffle Sir Toby. I will wash off gross acquaintance. I will be point devise the very man. I do not now fool myself to let imagination jade me, for every reason excites to this, that my lady loves me. She did commend my yellow stockings of late. She did praise my leg being cross-gartered. And in this she manifests herself to my love, and with a kind of injunction drives me to these habits of her liking. I thank my stars I am happy. I will be strange, stout, in yellow stockings and cross-gartered, even with the swiftness of putting on. Jove and my stars be praised. Here is yet a postscript. Thou canst not choose but know who I am. If thou entertainest my love, Let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smiles become thee well. Therefore in my presence still smile, dear my sweet, I prithee. Jove, I thank thee. I will smile. I will do everything that thou wilt have me.
I will not give my part of this sport for a pension of thousands to be paid from the sofa.
I could marry this wench for this device.
So could I too.
And ask no other dowry with her but such another jest.
Nor I neither.
Maria, wilt thou set thy foot on my neck?
Or on mine either.
Shall I play my freedom at trade trip and become thy bondslave?
If Faith or I either.
Why, thou hast put him in such a dream that when the image of it leaves him, he must run mad.
Nay, but say true, dost work upon him?
Like aqua vitae with a midwife.
If you will see then the fruits of my sport, mark his first approach before my lady, for he will come to her in yellow stockings, and 'tis a colour she abhors, and cross-gartered, a fashion she detests. And he will smile upon her, which will be so unsuitable to Olivia's disposition, being as addicted to a melancholy that she is, that it cannot but turn him into a notable contempt.
Save thee, friend, and thy music. Dost thou live by thy tabor?
No, sir. I live by the church.
Art thou a churchman?
No such matter, sir. I do live by the church, for I do live at my house, and my house doth stand by the church.
Ah, nay, that's certain. They that dally nicely with words may quickly make them wanton.
I would. Therefore my sister had no name.
Why, man?
Why? Her name's a word, and to dally with that word might make my sister wanton.
I warrant thou art a merry fellow and carest for nothing.
Not so, sir. I do care for something, but in my conscience, sir, I do not care for you.
Art thou not the Lady Olivia's fool?
No, indeed, sir. The Lady Olivia has no folly. I am not her fool, but her corrupter of words.
I saw thee late at the Count Orsino's.
Foolery, sir, does walk about the orb like the sun. It shines everywhere.
Nay, thou pass upon me. I'll no more of thee. Hold, there's expenses for thee.
Now, Jove, in his next commodity of hair, send thee a beard.
By my troth, I'll tell thee, I am almost sick for one. Though I will not have it grow on my chin. Is thy lady within?
Thy lady is within, sir. I will construe them whence you came. Who you are and what you would are out of my welcome. I would say element, but the word is overworn.
Oh, this fellow is wise enough to play the fool, and to do that well craves a kind of wit.
Save you, gentlemen.
And you, sir.
Dieu vous garde, monsieur.
Et vous aussi, votre serviteur.
I hope, sir, you are, and I am yours.
Will you encounter the house? My niece is desirous you should enter.
I am bound to your niece, sir. I mean, she is the list of my voyage.
Taste your legs, sir. Put them to motion.
My legs do better understand me, sir, than I understand what you mean by bidding me taste my legs.
I mean to go, sir, to enter.
I will answer you with gate and entry. Oh, but we are prevented. Most excellent, accomplished lady, the heavens rain odours on you. My matter hath no voice but to your own most pregnant and vouchsafed ear.
Come, let the garden door be shut, and leave me to my hearing.
My duty, madam, and most humble service.
What is your name?
Cesario, fair princess.
Your servant to the Count Orsino, youth.
And he is yours, and his must needs be yours. Your servant's servant is your servant, madam.
For him, I think not on him. For his thoughts, would they were blanks rather than filled with me.
Madam, I come to whet your gentle thoughts on his behalf.
Oh, by your leave, I pray you, I bade you never speak again of him. But would you undertake another suit? I had rather hear you to solicit that than music from the spheres.
Dear lady.
Give me leave, beseech you. I did send, after the last enchantment you did here, a ring in chase of you. So did I abuse myself, my servant, and, I fear me, you. Under your hard construction must I sit to force that on you in a shameful cunning which you knew none of yours. What might you think? So let me hear you speak.
I pity you.
That's a degree to love.
No, not a grise. For 'tis a vulgar proof that very oft we pity enemies.
Why then, methinks 'tis time to smile again. The clock upbraids me with the waste of time. Be not afraid, good youth, I will not have you. And yet, when wit and youth is come to harvest, your wife is like to reap a proper man. There lies your way, due west.
Then westward ho. Grace and good disposition attend your ladyship. You'll nothing, madam, to my lord by me?
Stay, I prithee, tell me what thou think'st of me.
That you do think you are not what you are.
If I think so, I think the same of you.
Or then you think right. I am not what I am.
I would you were as I would have you be.
Would it be better, madam, than I am? I wish it might, for now I am your fool.
Oh, what a deal of scorn looks beautiful in the contempt and anger of his lip. Cesario, by the roses of the spring, by maidhood, honour, truth, and everything, I love thee so, that more but all thy pride, nor wit nor reason can my passion hide. Do not extort thy reasons from this clause, for that I woo thou therefore hast no cause. But rather reason thus with reason fetter. Love sought is good, but given unsought better.
By my innocence I swear, and by my youth, I have one heart, one bosom, and one truth, and that no woman has, nor never none shall mistress be of it, save I alone. And so adieu, good madam. Nevermore will I my master's tears to you deplore.
Yet come again, for thou perhaps mayest move that heart which now abhors to like his love.
No, faith, I'll not stay a jot longer.
Thy reason, dear Venom, give thy reason.
You must needs yield your reason, Sir Andrew.
Marry, I saw your niece do more favours for the Count's serving man than ever she bestowed upon me. I saw it in the orchard.
Did she see thee the while, old boy? Tell me that.
As plain as I see you now.
This was a great argument of love in her toward you.
Slight, will you make an ass of me?
She did show favour to the youth in your side only to exasperate you, to awaken your dormouse valour, to put fire in your heart and brimstone in your liver. You should then have accosted her, and with some excellent jests, fire new from the mint, you should have banged the youth into dumbness. This was looked for at your hand, and this was balked. The double guilt of this opportunity you let time wash off, and you are now sailed into the north of my lady's opinion, where you will hang like an icicle on a Dutchman's beard unless you do redeem it by some laudable attempt, either of valor or policy.
And to be any way, it must be with valor. For policy I hate. I had as lief be a Puritan as a politician.
Why, then build me thy fortunes upon the basis of valour. Challenge me, the Count's youth, to fight with him, hurt him in 11 places. My niece shall take note of it, and assure thyself, there is no love broker in the world can more prevail in man's commendation with woman than report of valour.
There is no way but this, Sir Andrew.
Will either of you bear me a challenge to him?
Go. Write it in a martial hand. Be cursed and brief. It is no matter how witty, so it be eloquent and full of invention. Let there be gall enough in thy ink, though thou writes with a goose pen, no matter about it.
This is a dear mannequin to you, Sir Toby.
Oh, I have been dear to him, lad, some 2,000 strong or so.
We'll have a rare letter from him, but you'll not deliver it.
Never trust me, then. And by all means, stir on the youth to an answer. I think oxen and wain ropes cannot hail them together. For Andrew, if he were opened, and you find so much blood in his liver as will clog the foot of a flea, I'll eat the rest of the anatomy.
And his opposite, the youth bears in his visage no great presage of cruelty.
Fabian, Sir Toby, if you desire the spleen and will laugh yourself into stitches, follow me. Yond Gol Malvolio is turned heathen. He's in yellow stockings.
And cross-guarded?
Most villainously. And he does obey every point in the letter that I dropped to betray him. He does smile his face into more lions than is in the map of the augmentation of the Indies. You have not seen such thing as 'tis. I can hardly forbear hurling things at him. I know my lady will strike him, and if she do, he'll smile and take for great favour.
Come, bring us to where he is.
I would not by my will have troubled you, but since you make your pleasure of your pains, I will no further chide you.
I could not stay behind you. My desire more sharp than filed steel did spur me forth. But jealousy, what might befall your travel, being skilless in his parts, which to a stranger, unguided and unfriended, often prove rough and unhospitable. My willing love, the rather by these arguments of fear, set forth in your pursuit.
My kind Antonio, I can no other answer make but thanks, and ever thanks. Oft good turns are shuffled off with such uncurrent pay. But were my worth as is my conscience firm, you should find better dealing. What's to do? Shall we go see the relics of this town?
Tomorrow, sir, best first go see your lodging.
I'm not weary, and 'tis long till night. I pray you, let us satisfy our eyes with the memorials and things of fame that do renown this city.
Would you pardon me? I do not without danger walk these streets. Once in a sea fight against the Count his galleys, I did some service, of such note indeed that were I ta'en here, it would scarce be answered.
Belike you slew great number of his people.
The offence is not of such a bloody nature. It may have since been answered in repaying what we took from them, which, for traffic's sake, most of our city did. Only myself stood out. For which, if I be lapsed in this place, I shall pay dear.
Do not then walk too open.
It doth not fit me. Hold, sir, here's my purse.
Huh?
In the south suburbs at the Elephant is best to lodge. I will bespeak our diet, whiles you beguile the time with viewing of the city and feed your knowledge. There shall you have me.
Why I your purse?
Haply your eye shall light upon some toy you have desire to purchase. Your store, I think, is not for idle markets, sir.
I'll be your purse bearer and leave you for an hour.
To the Elephant.
I do remember.
I have sent after him. He says he'll come. How shall I feast him? What bestow of him? For youth is bought more oft than begged or borrowed. I speak too loud. Where is Malvolio? He is sad and civil, and suits well for a servant with my fortunes. Malvolio!
Ho ho!
How now, Malvolio?
Sweet lady, ho ho!
Smilest thou? I sent for thee upon a sad occasion.
Sad lady? I could be sad. This does make some obstruction in the blood, this cross-gartering. But what of it? If it please the eye of one, it is with me as the very true sonnet is. Please one, and please all.
Why, how dost thou, man? What is the matter with thee?
Not black in my mind, though yellow in my legs. It did come to his hand, and commands shall be executed. I think we do know the sweet Roman hand.
Wilt thou go to bed, Malvolio?
To bed? Ay, sweetheart, and I'll come to thee.
God comfort thee!
How do you, Malvolio? Why appear you with such ridiculous boldness before my lady?
Be not afraid of greatness, 'twas well writ.
What mean'st thou by that, Malvolio?
Some are born great, some achieve greatness.
What sayest thou?
And some have greatness thrust upon 'em.
Heaven, restore thee!
Remember who commended thy yellow stockings?
Those yellow stockings.
And wish to see thee cross-gartered.
Cross-gartered?
Go to, thou art made if thou desirest to be so.
Am I made?
If not, let me see thee a servant still.
Why, this is very midsummer madness.
Madam, the young gentleman of the Count Orsino is returned.
I'll come to him. Good Maria, let this fellow be looked to. Where is my cousin Toby? Let some of my people have a special care of him. I would not have him miscarry for the half of my dowry.
Do you come near me now? No worse than Sir Toby to look to me. This concurs directly with the letter. She sends him on purpose, that I may appear stubborn to him. For she incites to me that, in the letter, cast thy humble slough, says she, be opposite with a kinsman, surly with servants.
Here he is. Here he is. How is with you, sir? How is with you, man?
Go off. I discard you. Let me enjoy my private. Go off.
Lo, how hollow the fiend speaks within him. Did not I tell you, Sir Toby, my lady prays you have a care of him?
Does she so?
Go to. Peace, peace. We must deal gently with him. Let me alone. How do you do, Malvolio? How is't with you? What man defy the devil? Consider he's an enemy to mankind.
Do you know what you say?
Pray God he be not bewitched.
Prithee, hold thy peace. This is not the way. Do not see you move him. Let me alone with him.
No way but gentleness. Gently, gently. The fiend is rough and will not be roughly used.
Why, how now, my boar cock? How dost thou, Chuck?
Sir.
Get him to say his prayers, good Sir Toby, get him to pray.
My prayers, minx?
No, I warrant you, he will not hear of godliness.
Go hang yourselves all. You are idle, shallow things. I am not of your element. You shall know more hereafter.
Is't possible?
If this were played upon a stage now, I could condemn it as an improbable fiction.
His very genius hath taken the infection of the advice man.
Nay, pursue him now, lest the device take air and taint.
Why, we shall make him mad indeed.
the house will be the quieter.
Come, we'll have him in a dark room and bound. My niece is already in the belief that he's mad. We may carry it thus, for our pleasure and his penance, till our very pastime, tired out of breath, prompt us to have mercy on him. But see,
more matter for a May morning.
Here's the challenge. Read it. Warrant there's vinegar and pepper in it.
Is so saucy?
I warrant him. Do but read.
Give me. Youth, whatsoever thou art but a scurvy fellow.
Good and valiant.
Wonder not, nor admire not in thy mind why I do call thee so, for I will show thee no reason for it.
A good note that keeps you from the blow of the law.
Thou comest to the Lady Olivia, and in my sight she uses thee kindly. But thou liest in thy throat. That is not the matter I challenge thee for.
Very brief, and to exceeding good sense, Miss.
I will waylay thee going home, where it be thy chance to kill me.
Good.
Thou killest me like a rogue and a villain.
Still you keep o' the windy side of the law. Good.
Fare thee well, and God have mercy upon one of our souls. He may have mercy upon mine, but my hope is better, so look to thyself, thy friend, as thou usest him, and thy sworn enemy, Andrew Aguecheek. If this letter move him not, his legs cannot. I'll give it him.
He may have verification for it. He is now in some commerce with my lady, and will by and by depart.
Go, Sir Andrew. Scout me for him at the corner of the orchard like a bum bailey. So soon as ever thou seest him, draw, and as thou drawest, swear horrible, for it comes to pass oft that a terrible oath, with a swaggering accent sharply twanged off, gives manhood more approbation than ever proof itself would have earned him. Away!
Nay, let me alone for swearing.
Now will not I deliver his letter, for the behaviour of the young gentleman gives him out to be of good capacity and breeding. His employment between his lord and my niece confirms no less. Therefore this letter, being so excellently ignorant, will breed no terror in the youth. He will find it comes from a clodpole. But, sir, I will deliver his challenge by word of mouth. Set upon Aguecheek some notable report of valour, and drive the gentleman, as I know his youth will aptly receive it, into a most hideous opinion of his rage, skill, fury, and impetuosity. This will so fright them both they will kill one another by the look like cockatrices.
Here comes the Countess. Now heaven walks on earth.
What would my lord, but that he may not have, wherein Olivia may seem serviceable? Cesario, you do not keep promise with me.
Madam.
Gracious
What do
Olivia.
you say, Cesario? Good my lord.
My lord would speak. My duty hushes me.
If it be aught to the old tune, my lord, it is as fat and fulsome to mine ear as howling after music.
Still so cruel?
Still so constant, lord.
What, to perverseness? You uncivil lady, to whose ingrate and unauspicious altars my soul the faithfulest offerings hath breathed out that ere devotion tended, what shall I do?
Even what it please, my lord, that shall become of him.
Why should I not? Had I the heart to do it, like to the Egyptian thief, at point of death, kill what I love. But hear me this. Since you do non-regardance cast my faith, and that I partly know the instrument that screws me from my true place in your favour, live you the marble-breasted tyrant still. But this your minion, whom I know you love, and whom by heaven I swear I tender dearly, him will I tear out of that cruel eye, where he sits crowned in his master's spite. Come, boy, with me. My thoughts are ripe with mischief. I'll sacrifice the land that I do love, to spite a raven's heart within a dove.
And I, most jocund, apt, and willingly to do you rest 1,000 deaths would die.
Where goes Cesario?
After him I love, more than I love these eyes, more than my life, more by all mores that e'er I shall love wife.
I me detested! How am I beguiled?
Who does beguile you? Who does do you wrong?
Hast thou forgot thyself? Is it so long? Call forth the Holy Father.
Come, away.
Whither, my lord? Cesario, husband, stay ye.
Husband?
I, husband. Can he that deny?
Her husband, Sirrah?
No, my lord, not I.
Oh, thou dissembling cub. Farewell, and take her. But direct thy feet, where thou and I henceforth may never meet.
My lord, I do protest.
When that I was and a little tiny boy, with the hay, ho, the wind and the rain, the foolish thing was but a toy, for the rain it raineth every day. But when I came to man's estate, with the hay, ho, the wind and the rain, gainst knaves and thieves men shut their gate, for the rain it raineth every day. But when I came, alas, to wive with the hay, ho, the wind and the rain, by swaggering I could never thrive, for the rain it raineth every day. But when I came unto my bed, with the hay, ho, the wind and the rain, with toss-pot still had drunken heads, for the rain it raineth every day. A great while ago the world begun, with the hay, ho, the wind and the rain, and that's all when our play is done, and we'll strive to please you every day.